Okay, so we come to Bodmas. Okay, now Bodmas is a mnemonic acronym and it stands for brackets, order, division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. Okay, so the higher up on this list, the more important it is. Okay, now division, multiplication, addition and subtraction are what we call operations, okay, when you're manipulating numbers. So this tells you the order in which things must be done. So if we take a simple question like 2 plus 3 multiplied by 4, okay, most people will go 2 plus 3 is 5 and 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, 99.9% of the population will do that. Unfortunately, this is wrong because we have two operations in here. We have an addition and a multiplication, and you can see that multiplication is more important than addition. So we multiply first. So we ignore the 2. So we have 3 times 4 is 12. Now we can have 2 plus 12, which is 14. And that's the right answer. Now if you use a cheap calculator and you punch this in, it will give you 20. But if you use a scientific calculator, which is what you'll use later in the course, it will give you 14. It will give you the correct answer because it's been pre-programmed with this. Okay, this is what we call the rule of precedence. So it will be pre-programmed with that. So if we change this slightly, so let's say we have 2 plus 3 in brackets times 4. Now we've altered the order of operations. So the brackets, you can see, come first. So we do the brackets first and then we multiply. So 2 plus 3 is 5 and 5 times 4 is 20. So only if there are brackets around this do we get this 20. Otherwise we use the rule of precedence. Okay? So if we have, for example, let's say we have 3 squared, which is, if you remember in the previous video, 3 squared, the 2 tells you how many times the 3 is going to multiply itself. Okay, so because it's 2, it's going to be 2 3's multiplying themselves. Okay, don't make the mistake that 3 squared, or 3 to the power of 2, is 2 times 3. Okay, so we have 3 squared, or 3 to the power of 2, times 9 minus 7. Okay, so brackets we must do first. So 9 minus 7 is 2. So what I do is I write underneath this, and you'll do this more and more, particularly when you come to algebra. You'll write underneath it what you're doing, so you can show examiners what you're doing. Now 3 squared we know is 3 times 3, which is 9. So what we have is 9 times 2, okay, because I've followed the rule of precedence. I've used the brackets first and then order, which is this. is anything to a power. Okay, so 3 to the power of 2 is also 3 to the order of 2. I'm really sorry, but maths is full of terminology. Okay, in the first few weeks you'll learn a lot, and then it'll get less and less. So the order is done next, which is 3 squared. So we get 9 times 2, which is 18. So that's our final answer. Okay. Now sometimes you might get fractions. Let's say we have, my mind's thinking a bit too quick. So let's say we have 5 plus 7 over 3 minus 2. Okay, now you can see here we've got addition, subtraction, and we've got division, because 5 plus 7 divided by 3 minus 2. And we can see division comes above addition and subtraction, but we can't divide until we have a single number on the top and a single number on the bottom. Okay, so we need to work out the top and we need to work out the bottom so that we can then divide. So 5 plus 7 is 12, and 3 minus 2 is 1. So what we've got is 12 divided by 1. That's what the line means. And 12 divided by 1, well, 1 goes into 12 times. So our answer is 12. Anything over 1 is itself. So if we had 6 over 1, it would be 6. If it was 48 over 1, it would be 48. Okay? So let's say we have 8 multiplied by 3 plus 1 divided by 4 minus 2 . Now on this top line we have multiplication, but we have brackets, so we must do the brackets first. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So now what we've got is 8 times 4. So 4 eighths are 32. And then underneath, 4 minus 2 is 2. So now we've got single number on the top, single number on the bottom. So 32 divided by 2 is 16. So that's our final answer. Okay. So Bodmas is important because it dictates what you do and when. As you can see from this very first little sum, we could get 2 answers, and it's most important that you get the right answer. So if you follow Bodmas, then you won't go wrong. Okay, so there are some of these in the worksheet for you to go over, and as I said in the previous video, if you have any problems with this, come online, don't be afraid. Okay, I've never shouted at a student, I've never moaned at a student. So if you don't understand, it's not your fault, it's just because I've not explained it well enough. Okay, I hope that helps, and I'll move on to the next video.